Welcome everybody out to podcast number 414. Are you a guardian? Stay with us.
This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Welcome everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'm really excited about this episode. I heard this story in a church talk and heard it actually explained somewhat in this way. And so I asked that person, that individual who I greatly respect, if I could steal this information and use it for myself. And he said yes. And so I'm really excited. So we're going to get right to it. So how am I doing? Yesterday at Congress, LCI Congress, I got my butt kicked, man. The presentations were pretty difficult and stressful. We did a great job. I was able to present with Colin, Ryan, Tom, and Dan Fauché, and just had a great time. But then I was on my feet. Like, who knew it was so hard to talk to people standing up that long? But anyway, all those people that are presenting, it ain't easy. They're not chilling. When I came home, I literally just hit the hay, man. I was tanked. But we had to have talked to 40 or 50 people. Probably got my picture taken with about 15 people, and we just got to hang out with some of the greatest folks that I could be around. I mean, these are people that want to improve it. Gosh, yesterday was just so fun. So that's how I'm doing. So let's talk about some feedback. There was a group of people where I had toured their project, and we had gone through tax planning, and I had given them some suggestions about their concrete, and they had reported that they reduced their batch sizes, their lot sizes on their concrete placements based on my recommendation, and that they, for 2 weeks now, had been hitting their cycle for concrete placements, and they're doing well, and they're back on schedule. And I was like, yes, I freaking love it. I wish I had been recording the podcast right then and there, but that's some feedback. Okay, we're going to get right into this. You are going to love today's podcast. In 2011, Jessica Buchanan was an aid worker in northern Somalia, helping to raise awareness about how to avoid landmines. The north was the relatively safe section of the country. That October, she traveled to the more dangerous southern region for a training. The night before she left, she texted her husband, Eric, Eric, I can say their last name, sorry, Eric Landemolm, also an aid worker in Somalia. She asked him a question. If I get kidnapped on this trip, will you come and get me? On the trip back from the training, Buchanan and a colleague found their convoy surrounded by armed Somalians. The man responsible for protecting them had sold them out to land pirates who demanded a ransom of up to $45 million. Buchanan has a thyroid condition and was developing a kidney infection, but the kidnappers provided no medicine. They forced Buchanan and her co-worker to sleep on mats in the open desert for 93 days. Until U.S. Special Operations Forces, the Navy SEAL Team 6, famous for killing Osama bin Laden, came to the rescue. In a two-part interview with David Green, Buchanan and Landemolm described the months she spent as a hostage. In part one, which aired first, Buchanan remembers her confusion during her capture, while Landemolm recalls the agony of not knowing if he'd ever see his wife again. In part two, Buchanan recounts the details of her rescue, and she and Landemolm described the moment they were finally reunited. So here are some direct quotes. She said, I laid there for real quick. So just to tell you the story she got kidnapped throughout the 93 days. They just wanted money and kept negotiating for a ransom. I believe the U.S. had offered somewhere north of $1 million, $1.5 million to actually get her back, but they refused. And she recounted when she was being rescued, she said, I laid there for probably 5 minutes after asking to go to the restroom. And she was afraid because none of her captors would let her go to the restroom. And she was awake and fearful. And she said the entire night then just erupted into automatic gunfire. My first initial thought was that we were being re-kidnapped by another group, or maybe it was Al-Shabaab, the Islamic military group in Somalia. That was always the imminent threat, and then I knew there was no hope for survival if it was Al-Shabaab. And I laid there and I prayed, and I also just said, I can't survive another kidnapping. I've already learned this group. I'm so tired. I can't do this anymore. The next thing I know, somebody pulls the blanket from my face, and then I hear a man say my name. I haven't heard anyone say my name in so long. And then he says, we're the American military, and we're here to save you. We're here to take you home. You're safe now. And I was just in so much shock, I just couldn't wrap my brain around it. The American military, they knew I was here. Question mark. Americans are here. I'm not alone. One of them just scoops me up, I mean, like a movie, and just, runs across the desert with me to a safe place. And they quickly give me medication, and at one point form a ring around us because they weren't sure if the premises was completely safe. And she then said, I can't believe I did this, but I had a small little powder bag that they had let me keep, and inside I had restolen from them a ring that my mom had made. And I thought, I can't leave it here in the desert. Her mother had recently died. And so I asked them to go back and get the bag for me. And I mean, these men are just, they're incredible. He goes back out into our war zone, basically, to get my ring. And then he comes back with the bag. After that, she talks about in the interview when I watched the special, and I also watched the YouTube videos and read the article. The Navy SEAL team thought that there was a risk, or that there were surrounding captors that were going to fire upon her. And so they actually laid on top of her until she could get to the chopper and get rescued. So, anyway, so they laid on top of her, and when the chopper came down and she was able to get there, she never saw them again. She didn't know their names. She didn't know anything about them, really. And as the story concludes, the thought that you're left with is just how powerful it is that they were willing to sacrifice their life for a fellow American and their coworker. And so one of the things that I heard in this man's talk at church was the description of the SEAL ethos. Then the SEAL means SEAL, or Sea, Air, and Land teams, also known as Navy SEALs. They're the U.S. Navy's primary special operations force and are trained to operate in all environments for which they are named. And here's the ethos. In times of war or uncertainty, there's a special breed of warrior ready to answer our nation's call. Common citizens with uncommon desire to succeed. Forged by adversity, they stand alongside Americans' finest special operations forces to serve their country, the American people, and protect their way of life. I am a warrior. My trident is a symbol of honor and heritage, bestowed upon me by the heroes that have gone before. It embodies the trust of those I have sworn to protect. By wearing the trident, I accept the responsibility of my chosen profession and my way of life. It is a privilege that I must earn every day. My loyalty to country and team is beyond reproach. I humbly serve as a guardian to my fellow Americans, always ready to defend those who are unable to defend themselves. I do not advertise the nature of my work, nor seek recognition for my actions. I voluntarily accept the inherent hazards of my profession, placing the welfare and security of others before my own. I serve with honor on and off the battlefield. The ability to control my emotions and my actions, regardless of circumstance, sets me apart from others. Uncompromising integrity is my standard. My character and honor are steadfast. My word is my bond. We expect to lead and be led. In the absence of orders, I will take charge. Lead my teammates and accomplish the mission. I lead by example in all situations. I will never quit. I persevere and thrive on adversity. My nation expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than my enemies. If knocked down, I will get back up every time. I will draw on every remaining ounce of strength to protect my teammates and to accomplish our mission. I am never out of the fight. We demand discipline. We demand and expect innovation. The lives of my teammates and the success of our mission depend on me, my technical skill, tactical proficiency, and attention to detail. My training is never complete. We train for war and fight to win. I stand ready to bring the full spectrum of combat power to bear in order to achieve my mission and the goals established by my country. The execution of my duties will be swift and violent when required, yet guided by the very principles that I serve to defend. Brave SEALs have fought and died building the proud tradition and feared reputation that I am bound to uphold. In the worst of conditions, the legacy of my teammates steadies my resolve and silently guides my every deed. I will not fail. And so when you think about this story and how she was captured by criminals, by bandits, and that once the Navy SEALs were dispatched and sent in the fight, it was immediately known, like 100% fact known, that they would win. And when she was asked, are you Jessica Buchanan? We are the American military. And they rushed her out, not only rushed her out, but was willing to go back and get something that was so dear to her. And then, when they thought that she was under additional gunfire, leapt upon her and covered her with their own bodies, being willing to be a human shield and sacrificing themselves and their families and everything that they had trained for and done, their own very lives, for the purpose of that ethos. It really brings into mind that, like, these people, these amazing guardians is what I call them, they're the real deal, that we should honor and respect and protect and uphold everything that they do. And I thought to myself, and I don't want to cheapen the experience by any means, but I created and wrote just briefly, and I'm going to expand on it as I go throughout life, but the Builder Ethos. And here it is. And if you have any additions to it, please let me know, because I'll add to it and continue to refine it. There have been builders of old who have tamed the wild, forged raw materials into useful assemblies, and built some of the most awe-inspiring and near impossible structures mankind can conceive. I am that builder. I protect the innocent, the workers, the neighbors, pedestrians, motorists, and anyone who comes in contact with the construction environment. I protect the families of all who work on my site or who support my site. They are counting on me to send their loved ones home safely, and by God and His help, I will do it. I will do it with courage, tenacity, and being firm with my resolve to do and implement the things that keep people safe. My projects are clean, safe, and organized in all circumstances. I do not push. I do not complete or order out-of-sequence work. I do not tolerate uncleanliness, a lack of organization and discipline, and I never tolerate a lack of safety. I respect people, and because I respect people, I enforce the rules. Because I respect people, I treat everyone, especially the workers, with the same conditions and amenities I would want for my own family. I do not allow others in my influence to disrespect people or for people to be disrespected. As soon as I set foot on a project, I will win. And winning means on time, on budget, safely, with remarkable quality, where the team meets their career goals and develops, and where the owner becomes a raving fan. This is the measure of success, and I will not tolerate anything less than this minimum standard. I am a guardian. Because I am here, people are safe. Because I am here, people are respected. Because I am here, families are preserved. Because I am here, we will win. I am a builder. I am a guardian. I will not fail. And it's just brought to my mind that so many people come into construction by happenstance or by accident. And I am in this business because I have a legacy of builders throughout my heritage. I come, and a lot of you come from Mexican or Canadian or from Asian ancestry, and you have your own legacies and your own builder excellence and striving for perfection. I come from German ancestry. We are known in Germany for cleanliness, safety, organization, in Prussia for adhering to the rules, for regimented discipline, for creating stable environments, and for giving and being appreciative of what we have. I am in this business because that is my heritage and my legacy. I am in this business because I am a professional. I am in this business because I am wildly and incredibly intelligent and educated. And I am a professional, and the people in this country and everybody who works and lives and thrives in these houses and buildings throughout the United States needs builders is a fundamental part of their livelihood and their experience in their life on a day in and day out basis. And so I want people to take construction more seriously and to follow that ethos and know that we are all guardians. And so my challenge, my question to you would be this: do you train like you are a guardian? Are you pushing through adversity? Do you consider your position a symbol of honor and a heritage that you are able to uphold? Are you loyal to your team? Are you a guardian of that project and the people that are there? Do you serve and honor the people that are on your project sites, especially the workers? Do you lead, but also open and invite the opportunity to be led and to be humble and to collaborate? Are you quitting when things get hard? When you're knocked down, do you stay down or do you get back up? Do you demand of yourself discipline and innovation? Or do you sympathy vote yourself and give yourself a break? Do you train to fight and to win? And are you steady in the execution of what the owner and your employer has asked you to do? And have you resolved to not fail? These are some of our questions, and I want us to remember that we are the guardians. And I want to leave you with this last statement. I am a guardian. Because I am here, people are safe. Because I am here, people are respected. Because I am here, families are preserved. Because I am here, we will win. I am a builder. I am a guardian. I will not fail. On we go.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time on the Elevate Construction Podcast.